Give me the argument, the best argument you know, for the power of cinema.
Sup, bro?
Sup, bro?
And welcome everybody to Peliculas with the Bros. My name is Adrian,
My name is Ivan.
and this is a podcast, a show of sorts where me and my brother talk about movies. We talk about new movies. We talk about all kinds of movies. Ivan, do it.
Nah.
Today, we're gonna talk about a brand new movie. The movie is called.
No Time to Die.
It's the new James Bond film, out in theaters, out in the local theaters near you.
Yep.
Ivan, are you ready for this?
Nah.
What an iconic theme song, right?
Yeah.
We'll get to that. Don't go. I have a whole section for that. Ivan, let's talk about this movie.
Yeah.
No Time to Die. The premise of this movie: James Bond is retired and in love with Madeline Swan. But can a 007 ever truly stay retired? Can they truly be in love? Bond has been betrayed before, and his heart is still tender from the loss of his old flame, Vesper Lind. Will Madeline do the same? Bond is back to save the world, but who will save James? With the cast of Daniel Craig as, obviously, James Bond. Rami Malek. Is that how you say his name?
I think so.
Rami Malek, Ivan, your homeboy,
Mr. Robot.
as Lucifer. It's basically Lucifer, but they add Lyut to make it hard and throw you off. Classic Bond, you know.
Yeah.
Lucifer Safin. Leia Seydoux as Madeline Swan. Sorry for butchering that name. Lashana Lynch as Naomi. Ben Winshaw as Q. Naomi Harris as Eve Moneypenny.
Money Penny.
I love that name, right?
Yeah.
So good. Jeffrey Wright as Felix Leader. Christopher Waltz, what a man, as Ernst Stavro Blofeld. Rolf Phineas as Gareth Mallory, a.k.a. M. Billy Magnuson as Logan Ash. Ana de Armas, lovely, lovely Ana de Armas, as Paloma. Literally, I cannot make that up. David Densick as Valdo Abrushev. Rory Kinnear as Bill Tanner.
Jeez.
And Lisa Dora Sonnet as Matilda, the daughter. Oh, spoiler alerts throughout this whole thing. The daughter of Mr. Bond. Is that a first?
Probably.
Wow. This character, Ivan. Let's talk about Bond. Let's get into this. We're not just going to talk about the movie. We have to talk about Bond. We've never seen or talked about a Bond film, right?
Yeah. It's like it's the movie, isn't it?
It's kind of what your grandpa, like, you love Marvel,
Yeah.
so you would assume that your grandpa loved Bond,
Yeah.
right? It's your grandpa and your dad's version of these Marvel superhero movies.
Yep.
It's considered, or it shouldn't be it's considered, but it is in the top 10 franchises ever as far as the biggest franchises in movie history. It's up there with, obviously, Marvel,
Mhm.
DC, Harry
Mhm.
Potter, Star Wars. The one key difference is that it's the oldest one.
Mhm.
It has 26 films under its bag.
Mhm.
If you look at something like Marvel, it has like 15,
Mhm.
and that's only like in the past 15 years or whatever.
They're catching up.
So it's a storied franchise. It's the longest running franchise in film history.
Yep.
Been making movies since the 1960s. The origination of James Bond is by a man named Ian Fleming. He wrote
Mhm.
a series of novels that then got made into movies over the years. The thing about Bond, though, is that it's it's kind of a crazy. It's had kind of a crazy transformation over the years,
Indeed.
from the Sean Connery days to what we have now.
Mm.
I think one thing that stands out, and it's something we talked about in the last podcast, and it's this thing that all James Bond's movies in the previous times, what it had was that it was pretty campy.
Mm-hmm.
It had these gadgets that he would wear. He would always have a cool car.
Mm-hmm.
He would always have
The
sexy
women.
ladies, and he would always act like he would always have these one-liners that
Suave.
he would say. A suave man.
Debonair.
You could even say like Sean Connery's the epitome. What is it?
Epitome.
Epitome of what James Bond is.
Yeah.
They're sort of like synonymous, right?
Yeah.
But it is weird to think that just 20 years ago, how campy a James Bond would be, you know?
Yeah.
As campy as, what was the last movie we talked about? Venom,
Oh yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
But for you are probably more used to the Daniel Craig version.
Yeah, but I always had Pierce Brosnan in my head as like Brosnan?
Isn't it? Or is it Brosnan?
Does it matter?
Pierce, we love you, boy.
Piercey boy.
Pierce boy.
I always had Piercey boy as like the James Bond in my
Yes.
head, even though I've never seen a single one of his movies.
Right.
Like even when like Casino Royale like was coming out, like I wasn't like this isn't the real one, but
This ain't Piercey boy.
Yeah, I like in my head I thought that, but like not like deeply.
Right.
Like I was still like 5 or whatever. But yeah, like I mean, like I'm kind of between the two, I guess.
I remember we had a VHS of Tomorrow Never Dies or something, one of the Pierce Brosnan movies. And I would watch that a lot, like a lot, but I always didn't like it.
Okay.
It just felt like, oh, we have this, and
Yeah.
it's passable, but it didn't really tickle my pickle,
I get you.
for lack of a better term.
There are better terms.
Just something about sort of the genericness of it I didn't like, and it was kind of cheesy, you know?
Yeah.
Now thinking about it, I probably couldn't pinpoint it back when I was 12 years old, but now I can.
Mm-hmm.
Pierce was cool. He was like a debonair guy, you know?
Yep.
Charming.
Yep.
Seductive.
Yep.
But with Daniel Craig and Casino Royale, it was such a different tone that he hit.
More cool, calm, like realistic.
Serious.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't imagine Pierce Brosnan walking into a room and beating up 5 people.
Yeah.
But when Daniel Craig walks into a room,
He's gonna kill him.
he's gonna kill him. He's gonna grab his gun. He's gonna do all kinds of jiu-jitsu maneuvers and judo maneuvers to kill each and every one of them. And that's a big difference from the previous Bond movies.
Yep.
And another difference was the depiction of women. The director of this movie, Fukunaga, he was saying that
He wanted strong women.
he wanted strong women, but he also said that the previous Bonds were basically rapists. Because they would do things like
Yeah.
take a girl and kiss them when they're saying no. You know?
I mean, not
And-
to be an apologist here,
Here we go.
but I rewatched all of them before this movie. That's a fact.
Oh, God.
I did
Wait, didn't you do that a long time ago?
with
Bond? Like, didn't you do that a long time ago and now you're saying it? Or you
like,
did
are
it
you saying we
recently?
did that with Spectre?
No. I thought you said that, like, for some reason this is bringing back deja vu where you said, I watched all of them before to get ready for...
Oh, I probably did. I know. I don't know what I did it with, but I probably did.
I thought it was Bond, though.
No,
Okay.
because that would have to be Spectre, but I don't think we did Spectre.
No, we didn't.
I watched them
Throughout. So how long did it take you to watch 26
one
films?
day. No, not those.
Oh.
You cow. I don't know. I watched Daniel
Oh,
Craig's.
okay. So you watched Casino Royale up until now.
Yes.
Nice.
I was only gonna. I'll go back to the topic, but I was only gonna do Casino Royale and Skyfall because those are like the good ones. But then, like, I saw the trailer for this movie, and there's like a lot of parts from Quantum of Solace and Spectre that like I had no memory of. So I was like, I'll just watch it.
Right.
Anyways, during those movies, yeah, he was like promiscuous,
Yeah.
but it was never like straight rape, I would say.
But you're talking about I'm talking about the old Bond movies.
Oh,
You're talking about up until from Casino Royale up until now, right?
yeah.
I'm talking about the previous Bonds.
Oh, then I don't know how he treated women.
Right. So, yeah, there were scenes where he would take a girl and force himself onto them
Oh,
and stuff like that,
a
you know?
little spicier.
Or grab them and like shake them and hit them and like, listen to me, woman. I was like, oh, sorry. You know?
Sorry, man. You're in charge.
So imagine that. Just like 40 years ago, that was the Bond that people were getting. That's the Bond that our grandpa got.
I mean, there's even controversy with these movies where like they don't make women like useful.
Right.
Like it's somewhat consensual, but still like at the end of the day, they're just treated like nothing
Yes.
for most of the films.
Right. But
It's an upgrade.
even in Casino Royale, Vesper Lynn, Bond was in love with that character,
Yeah.
with that woman.
Yeah.
And that was the first time, or one of the first times, that he was in love with a girl, you know,
Bond girl.
versus just sleeping with them and like.
He was never in love in the past.
I saw a sort of recap, and it said that he was gonna marry one of them.
Okay.
But she got killed or something.
Classic.
So it's similar, right?
Yeah.
But I think in this one, you definitely, or not in this one, in Casino Royale, you definitely felt an impact that Bond had when she was killed, you know?
Yeah.
And that still lingers to this movie, too.
Yeah.
So there's a big difference in that sense.
Yeah.
So I think that the current iteration of Bond did a better job of portraying women, but it still didn't do enough.
I think this movie, like, they're finally like, all right, we wronged the rights or right the wrongs.
Yeah. Or
we
the
wronged the rights. But okay, I think I'll say this when we're into it.
Okay. Yeah, because we will get into that. So that's one thing. One thing that doesn't change is like the theme song.
No.
Oh, so good. So I was reading about like the composer that made the song, and I think he made it in like a couple hours. And it has I forgot exactly what it said, but it has like a mixture of bebop, jazz, and some of this and some of that, and that's how he described it. And he wanted it to sound like sexy, mysterious, and it is just that, you know. It's such a iconic song, but it's not just iconic because it's made Bond and you hear it every time you see a Bond movie.
Yeah.
But it's very distinct, and it's a beautiful sound.
It shows like what a talented musician / artist can do when they like see what needs to be made and then deliver exactly that. And you could only do that if you're really good at what you do.
Yeah.
Like if you had like a DaBaby to make a Bond theme song, he wouldn't know where to start. He'd be like, okay, he likes women, so I'll do a rap about women.
Right.
Something like that.
Right.
He doesn't have
The composer aspect of
he doesn't know how to make that feeling
Yes.
out of nothing.
Yes. It's interesting though. I hope they would never ask DaBaby to
Imagine.
do that.
DaBaby, like not even like just the theme, like where Billie Eilish did this one.
Uh-huh.
Just have DaBaby do it.
That'd be a great spin. I think Drake could do a good
All
Bond
right,
song.
let's move on.
Cause you know what sounds like a Bond song that Drake did? It's off Views. It's the intro for Views.
Oh, yeah, I know the song.
Right? And it has
Yeah.
like that orchestra in the back, and he's singing. Yeah, that would be a great Bond song.
I want to see an edit of that.
I'm sure we can make it, Ivan.
It would probably be simple.
Yeah.
We just have to find the Bond title sequence that's as long as Drake's song.
Yeah.
And it kind of lines up.
Yeah. All right,
gotta
Drake.
go.
You
I
heard it
gotta go.
first. Peliculas with the Bros. We are promoting Drake to make the next title sequence. He's gonna be the next Bond song, girl.
He's going to be the next villain.
Okay. So, what we sort of talked about this already, but what's your personal history with Bond? You said that you sort of grew up in the Brosnan age, the Piercy boy age, and upgraded to the Daniel Craig age. But as far as like you wanting to see these movies and you liking these movies, what do you think?
Never like James Bond. Ooh. Like I always liked them, but I was not like that fan.
Uh-huh.
Especially like they kind of flip flopped on quality each time.
Yeah.
Like Casino Royale was like, wow. Quantum of Solace, like I had to rewatch that because
Yeah.
I remembered none of it.
Right.
And I watched it, I was like, this is still a pretty confusing movie.
Right.
Because it's like they don't really know what they're doing. But then Skyfall came out. It's like, all right, we're back into the thick of it. And that was like amazing with our boy Javi Bardem.
The one and only. Beautiful.
And then I watched Spectre and it's like, all right, you messed up again. Like it wasn't bad. It's not as bad as Quantum of Solace, but
It's not Skyfall.
it felt like a Fast and Furious sort of like sequel. Or
Yeah.
like just bigger, better.
Yeah.
And I was like,
No depth.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like I wasn't too excited for this one, but I was like, this is probably it, so might as well watch it.
It's funny that you say like you were never
A
like,
Bonder?
a Bond man.
A Bonder.
A Bonder?
Yeah. A Bondy?
You're never a Bondy.
Yeah.
And thinking back about it, I was never really excited either for a Bond film. But I watched every one of them whenever it came out.
That's like Marvel, huh? Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
But-
I'm kind of excited for them, but I'm not like foaming at the mouth anymore.
But there was never a Bond movie in my recollection that I can say I'm excited for this.
Uh-huh.
And to be honest, it's more like Dad would drag us to watch it, you know?
Yeah.
Because that was his Marvel, like
Yeah.
his sort of comic book thing that he would go back to, even though he probably didn't read the books or anything, but
Yeah.
he was still into that. Because it is kind of like, it's
like-
the beginning of that. It's the
Yeah.
beginning of like fanboyish and just you don't feel as bad liking James Bond because he has a gun and he gets the girls.
Yep.
But yes, you're right. Casino Royale to me was like, oh damn, they finally did something really good with Bond.
Yeah.
You know? And then honestly the other ones I don't really remember too much. I know that people said that Skyfall is better than the rest of them, than
Mhm.
Quantum and Spectre. But my memory didn't come back until I read upon them. So which was weird.
I think I watched Skyfall the most out of all of them.
Yeah.
I think Casino Royale is the best one. But Skyfall is just so like iconically beautiful. Like it's
Right.
that blue tone that's like in the whole movie. It's so nice.
I want to watch it again.
It's good.
When we get back, we'll talk more about Bond and his history. Bond is sort of
Old.
He's old. Bond is old and he's everywhere.
Okay.
There's satires of him everywhere, you know?
Yeah.
And there's copycats of Bond
Yeah.
throughout any kind of art form. The ones that stand out to me is obviously Austin Powers.
Classics. Man, they should come back.
They should.
And you know, it's perfect because they can make a joke on how old like Daniel Craig is with like old Mike Myers,
Uh-huh.
Michael Myers,
Yeah.
and have him just play old Austin Powers, because like I think they're the same age, just Daniel Craig looks better.
No, I think he's like 10 years older. I think
Still,
Mike's. Yeah.
I think even that would work better. Like just really lay into the fact that he's old
Right.
and make him like still be seen as like super sexy and
Right.
everything.
But it is crazy. When I was watching Austin Powers films, I didn't realize how they didn't really have to make too much jumps
Uh-huh.
to make it similar to the old James Bond films.
Yeah.
Because it is a satire on those films, but in the old films there were characters called Pussy Galore,
Yeah.
and I didn't know that, and I was like, damn, they didn't have to do too much to make fun of it. Like, it was all in the film already.
I think it's just the fact that Austin Powers is so obviously unattractive.
Yeah.
Like it shows how fragile like everything else around him is.
Yeah.
Like if you had him in any of the other movies, it would have been like, this is a comedy.
Right.
And that's it. It's like,
Yeah,
that
it
simple.
only works because Bond is very handsome.
Yeah.
And you sort of believe that he is this man of mystery.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's Bond, there's Archer, which is
Yeah.
like another satire on that. And that's a funny one. Johnny English, do you remember that?
I know of it, but I haven't watched it.
Me too. I think I saw the first film, but there's 2 more or 3 in total. And then there's
Jason Bourne,
Jason Bourne,
Mission Impossible.
Mission Impossible. Yeah, and then Get Smart,
Yeah, with Steve Carell.
created by our boy,
Seth Rogen.
no,
I don't know.
the original Get Smart in the 60s by Mel Brooks.
Oh, I was going to say Mel Gibson.
So yeah, Mel Brooks
Uh-huh.
copied Ian Fleming. It's a tangled web we weave.
It's in our culture.
But yeah, Jason Bourne, come on, man. That's like, he's Bond, but he's like a colder Bond,
Uh-huh.
and without the womanizing,
Yeah.
and he's not trying to be cool. He's just trying to figure out what the hell
I don't
he is.
even remember what like the plots are for Jason Bourne though.
I feel like I remember. Well,
Like I always see him on the run.
yeah,
That was like his thing.
he's basically Wolverine.
Yeah. I know he had like some super soldier stuff and they like either wanted it back or wanted him dead.
Yes.
And he had like memory loss.
Yes.
Or something. That was like one of the plots.
Yeah, they took out his memory, and then he found a girl he loved. They eventually kill her or something like that. And he's still running, and then they rebooted it with
Jeremy
Jeremy what?
Renner.
Renner. He has an old face now.
Yeah.
When I saw him in the trailer for Nightwing, or what is it?
The
Arrow?
Hawkeye and the Arrow girl.
Yeah. I was like, dang, this guy looks like an old grandpa.
He has to be like 50, huh? 49.
45. He's not 50. No, he's not 50. It's just the thing that, like, genetics, some people, plus, like, your habits, obviously, but, like,
Yeah.
I think genetics plays a big part.
Yeah.
I've low-key wish that I had, like, a weird genetic thing like that, where it's like,
You might.
I look 60 by the time I'm 30.
You could.
Did I look 60?
Next question.
Okay. And then I'll be remiss if I don't mention GoldenEye, the video game.
I never played it, but I understand its impact.
It's a cult classic.
It's the mold, isn't it?
The mold?
Like a mold. Like,
Oh, yeah.
Not like.
Well, let's describe it first.
Mold.
Nintendo 64 video
Yep.
game coming out on Nintendo 64.
Yep.
GoldenEye. It took the world by storm, kinda, and it became like the best multiplayer for years and years.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, it was the mold for what future multiplayers would be.
Yeah.
It was fun. The maps were fun. The game, I don't know, something about it was extremely addictive. I remember playing with friends in elementary school and middle school, and it's still infamous to this day. And they never could replicate. Like, you would assume that there's 10 more good James Bond films, games.
Yeah.
But there's only a couple.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, right?
think they just got really lucky figuring out that. Like they figured out
It's
the
game
formula.
design, you know?
Yeah. But I mean, it's tough.
And you don't see too many games based off movies that are really good.
Not anymore. I think they learned their lesson.
Wait, isn't the opposite? Like they
Games-
never learn their lesson because you still don't see it.
Well,
Too-
they made a lot for a while. And
Right.
then they eventually realized nobody wants them.
There was a Spider-Man one that I liked when I was,
I think that was like the last actual good one.
and then there was a Matrix one that was like it was cool in theory,
Yeah.
but like there was no depth to it.
Yeah. Man, a
Yeah.
modern Matrix game would probably be really good. Like with all that, like,
Right.
and, like you could do so much more effects now.
Wasn't there a game like that called Max Payne where you
Yeah.
can do slow motion?
But that one's like, I want like Matrix version. That one's like
Yeah.
he jumps, and then it's like slow mo, and you could shoot.
Right.
So you're just jumping around.
Man, games. I wish I could play them again. I don't have time. Ivan, where did you see this movie?
AMC La Jolla,
Your place. You own that place now. Huh?
my kingdom.
I went to see it at Mission Valley. I saw it at the Dolby Theater in
Okay.
Mission, so that was nice. We were so dumb. We got Shake Shack, and we took it into the theaters. That's not the dumb part. I guess it's not our fault, but we got there. We said, "Hey, pick up order for Adrian." I placed order 30 minutes before, and he looked at the bags and he's like, "Oh, still not out. Be out in a minute." 15 minutes later, we're still waiting. He looks at the bags again. He's like, "Oh, it's here." So we were waiting all that time. The burger's all cold, you know? Fries are all timid, basically.
Timid.
Yeah, come on, man. And I got so mad. Like, I usually don't get mad.
I get you.
And I think what made me more mad is that,
He was a white guy.
yeah. And he had blonde hair.
Ah.
No, what made me mad is that I saw him mess up right after he messed up with us.
He's gonna get fired.
I saw him and I'm like, dude, I already knew it was going to be bad,
Yeah.
but I waited there. I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt, but
yeah.
that's something I don't have patience for is like dumbness. But I do dumb things, so I should have patience for it, right?
Hypocrite.
There it is. So we got Shake Shack. We sat at the Dolby Theater. There wasn't too many seats by the time I booked my seating, so we were right in front, literally looking up like this. Honestly, that's the way to go.
Shut up.
Dude,
Just shut up.
because honestly, I read some reviews and all that kind of stuff, and I had a great time watching this movie, you know?
Okay.
Like, I felt like sort of nervous because I was so close and like everything was flashing in front of my eyes and I had to like swivel my head back and forth to catch everything.
Uh-huh.
But it sort of made the movie, you know?
Okay.
I wonder if I was sitting 30 feet back if it would be the same.
Okay.
I'm just saying, maybe being closer can help sometimes.
Probably.
But I do wish I was farther back for the more cinematic shots.
All right.
Because then I had to to see the whole city, I was literally looking around like a tourist, you know? But maybe
Yes.
that's the way you're supposed to see it.
Who knows?
I wish okay, this is the one thing I want from Dune. Long shots, widescreen, up close. That way I have enough time to look around.
What do you want me to say?
What's up, man? Dune's coming out, bro. Are you ready?
It's the one after this
I know.
one.
You ready?
Let's get back to the movie.
Okay.
Jesus.
Going into it, what'd you think? What were you thinking?
Hot garbage.
Really?
No.
Oh.
I just felt like it was like it's probably gonna be good, but
Based off the off on
yeah,
quality.
I had the prediction, like I ran the numbers, did all the math. This one looked like it was gonna be good.
It was a winner.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you think about this being most likely Daniel Craig's last film, you would assume that he wants to go off with the bang.
Yeah. Did he?
Wait. Am I wrong to think that I've heard him say that Spectre was going to be his last film?
Probably.
And maybe he came back because it wasn't a good film? He's like, I can't leave it like this.
I mean, I could see that. I mean, I have,
Good on him if that's a
I have
fact.
I have a theory.
Okay.
That, like, the studios didn't know how to move on to a modern 007 story, because, like,
By modern, what do you mean?
modern as in this movie, like they, like, because this one kind of wraps everything up where, like, it could move on.
Yes.
Like, it showed James Bond having a kid, and he's not. Showed James Bond having a kid. He's not that sexist, womanizer, misogynistic person anymore.
Right.
The next 007 is here, and then James Bond acknowledges her as 007. So
Yep.
that's, like, already shuts people up who are like, that's not real 007. Like, James Bond literally said that's 007, so shut up.
Shout out to Nomi. Uh-huh.
Yes. That's not her name, is it?
In the movie it is, yeah.
Oh. What else? It's more strong female representation.
Mm-hmm.
Tied up Blofeld's
Blofeld.
little
Arc.
story up.
Uh-huh.
What else?
So you sort of had a feeling that it's going to be a good movie. Ended up being
Pretty good.
pretty good. And you were assuming that they made this film because they couldn't make a good.
Next. They couldn't figure out what to do next.
Right, basically, right? They
Yeah.
didn't. The people in charge didn't know what to do next. And I do think you're right, because this movie sort of leaves everything in place for them to do whatever they want.
Yeah.
Whether that is like a more modern, or I should say a more inclusive Bond movie,
Yeah.
or if it's just a new Bond guy, they could go either way. We could talk about that in a bit. So you think the movie's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
I honestly thought the movie was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Taking a step back, I realized that it's just good.
Mm-hmm.
But in the theaters, I just had fun, because
Yeah.
like there's so much action sequences. I was right in front, like I said. Everything was flowing. Everything felt good. The movie is long, but it didn't feel like, all right, when can we leave? But yeah, I thought the movie was fun. And then the ending was just like pretty impactful. Like, I looked over at my fiance, and she had her eyes. I mean, my wife, and her eyes were all teary-eyed. And I was like, "Thank you, thank you, Corey." Wait, is it Corey?
Carrie?
Carrie. Let's talk about Carrie.
No.
What is Carrie, I should say, Fukunaga? What's his thing? Does he have a style? Is he an auteur?
His style is, he knows how to make a good movie. That's his style.
That's his damn style. Uh-huh.
I think, like, I mean, what else does he have? He was going to do It, wasn't he? Or did he do the first one?
He was going to do the first one, yeah.
What else?
True Detective, one of your favorite shows. The first season.
Debatable. I think he just, like, knows how to make a movie. Like, he's just...
Beast of No Nation.
Well, I watched that. That was good. Yeah, he's just, like, good.
Right.
But I don't see him having, like, a style yet.
A creative direction.
Yeah. Like, maybe he won't. Maybe just, like, that, the go-to guy if you want a good movie sort of thing.
Yeah, he's like the ultimate steady hand.
Yeah.
Like there's a steady hand. Like who's like a good steady hand.
Oh, what's Ron?
Howard.
Yes.
He's like Ron Howard evolved,
Yeah.
but with a little darker, because he only takes like dark films, you know.
Yeah.
And that's fine too, right? Like the ability to be. You don't have to be an auteur. You don't have to be a Quentin Tarantino who has like his own distinct style. Maybe you just love making movies that are good.
And he's still starting out.
Yeah, relatively. You know, his last film was I think it was Beast of No Nation? I don't know, but his last project was Maniac. Remember that show on Netflix?
Oh, that was him?
Yeah, he directed that. He didn't write it.
I never watched it, but I heard good things.
It was going back to like the creative vision. I don't know if he had too much input as far as like the writing or anything, but everything looked amazing.
Right.
Which I think goes back to your comment of like he just knows how to make things look good.
Yeah.
And he does that in this film. His next film, he's actually doing another TV show. I don't know, there's something about him that makes me, he's sort of like mysterious. So I'm like, who is this guy? What does he have that tickles everyone's pickle?
Good way to put it.
And then our boy Daniel Craig. Let's talk about him. Let's take a quick break before we do that, though. Is Daniel Craig handsome?
I'd say he's like average to like an 8 or whatever.
Uh-huh.
But just the confidence he has is what makes it, right?
Yep.
Like, I don't think he's like, holy moly.
He's no...
Woo, woo.
Wait, he's no...
Michael B.
I can't
Jordan.
even think. What?
Michael B. Jordan, Brad Pitt.
Yeah. He's not a Michael... He's no Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
But he carries himself...
Yeah. Like Brad Pitt.
Yeah. And that's important.
Yeah.
That's like charisma.
Yeah.
And he doesn't do it in a showy way. He's very... You almost feel like he's very even keel.
Yeah.
But he feels like he knows that you know
Yeah.
that I'm the shit.
He knows
you know?
what he got.
You know.
Yeah.
Another guy, yeah, I don't know. Before Bond, I didn't really have any knowledge of this guy.
Same.
But now with Bond, he's just a superstar. He doesn't really have too much success out of Bond other than Knives Out.
I don't think he needs it. I think he doesn't care either. Like,
no, yeah, he doesn't care.
After Bond, he's like, I'll just take whatever role seems cool. Whatever looks fun.
I mean, once you're Bond, you're pretty much set.
Yeah, you have your legacy.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yeah.
And that's it. You're done.
But it's interesting because Knives Out was a huge hit.
Yeah.
And then Knives Out 2 is coming out, and he owns like part of it, and he already got like a $200 million, or the movie got a $200 million advance or whatever.
Yep.
So he's already cementing another legacy like that. You know, that's his own, another franchise he's in.
Yep.
Another detective, which is interesting. I guess Bond isn't a detective; he's a double agent, whatever. But yeah, I mean, when I think of him, I think of Bond.
Yeah.
I don't see anything else other than Bond.
It's his cross to bear, I guess.
And that could be a heavy cross, because you could just... Because what is Piercy Boy doing now?
Being rich.
Right? But he has no real legacy outside of the Bond.
But how many legacies do you need?
I think that's your point, too. Like, he doesn't care after this.
Like, if I got the Nobel Peace Prize, like, I'll be like, what else do you need from me? Like, I've paid my due to humanity, you know?
But Yes,
You're saying I got to get another one?
No, I don't. I don't think you need to. But the fact that he might be the first Bond.
To do it again?
Yeah,
Well, it's early. Come on.
it is early.
It's just Knives Out, and
I mean, he tried with Cowboys and Aliens, but that thing bombed. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Like that thing was promoted heavy, but
Still.
it fell pretty down. But yeah, I mean, it would be interesting to see his post career after Bond.
Lucrative.
Stay making that money. I think he makes a portion off each Bond film.
I mean,
doing the Downey.
He could just, I don't know. He's disgustingly rich no matter how he played this contract stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
It's true. Rami Malek, what do you think about our boy Rami?
In a movie or general?
Both. Before and then in this movie.
I always liked him. He's like a little kooky. In this movie, I feel like he could have done more.
They didn't give him much.
No.
I thought he was gonna. I assumed he was the big bad in this, but he was sort of sharing the load with Christopher Waltz in a way.
Yeah. I don't know. I also kind of I think controversial, but similar to Star Wars Episode 8 and 9.
So crazy. That's a thing.
Where Episode 9 had to work with whatever they got from Episode 8.
Yes.
So they're kind of working with the hand tied behind their back.
Yeah.
I think the same thing kind of happened here.
Yeah.
Where they had to work with what Spectre gave them. But even with that, they with what they got, they worked it pretty well, considering.
Yeah, he wasn't a bad guy.
Yeah.
But you just felt like there wasn't too much depth.
Yeah.
Because they didn't give him enough screen time, I guess.
I also didn't really get his final plan. I know he wanted to I understood what the weapon does, but was he just gonna kill people he didn't like after Bond?
His plan was to kill more people, because remember he had all the DNA.
Yeah,
a lot of people. He wanted to kill more people.
Is it like Winter Soldier? At the end, where do you remember Winter Soldier?
Oh, it's like
those things, they just target bad people and kill them before they ever do it. Is that?
I don't know.
Do you think? I feel like that's what his goal was.
I think his goal was to reduce population.
I don't. If that's it, I never felt that was his goal. I understood when he killed Spectre. I was like, I like this guy.
Right.
But I don't know what he would do.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that shows that. That's a thing I noted that. I guess we could get into it now. That when I was watching the movie, I was sort of confused in the beginning. I'm like, who's this? I literally didn't remember Madeline.
That's why I rewatched.
I was like, who's this girl? And what's Spectre again? And all these kind of things.
Yeah.
And at the time or still to right now, I didn't feel bad I wasn't mad that I had to figure out, I had to read, who all these people were and, all the story and Mr. White and the Pale King and all this. But I think that's because I'm accustomed to Marvel,
Right.
Marvel sort of, drilled me in that way of thinking, I need to watch 20 films to understand what's happening in this film.
Yeah.
And then when I was like, oh, that's fine. I can live with that. But what does the random viewer think of this movie that's all these people that they don't know and how they connect, they have no idea.
I think
You literally need to watch or read about the past 3 films to understand this film.
I think they're assuming, one, that people are going to watch James Bond no matter what.
Yes.
And then 2, they probably have some recollection of the past Bond movies.
Yeah.
They probably know Christopher Waltz was a bad guy.
Yeah.
They know James Bond has general bad history, untrusting. I think that's just like they just gotta go with it. Like if they spent too much, well, Blowfield was
Right.
this gentleman's brother, half
Right.
brother, step brother. It would have been too much.
I think it's also like it's the idea that who cares, you know?
Yeah.
They're like, I'm assuming that one of the executive producers was like, when Carrie's like, how are people gonna understand? They're like, who cares? It's a Bond movie. People are just gonna come and watch it.
Yeah.
And
you
at
got-
the end of the
yeah,
day, he's trying to save the world.
yeah.
And is that message getting through? Yes. Okay. Then it's fine.
Yeah, like even if you just watch this movie, you know, like he's with this girl who he doesn't trust too much, but he loves her, and then like her past comes back, and like if you haven't watched them, you know Bond is kind of like super spy, bad history. You know, like you can make all these assumptions,
Right.
so you don't really need to know, but it's nice to know.
True. Man, this world is so weird now as far as movies go. Like, I guess that's always been the thing with Bond too. Like, they did have a continuation from movie to movie of like how all these relate, but
Yeah,
I guess when it's not Marvel, it's funny to see it, you know? It's like, oh, they're doing this thing too. You had a point earlier where you were talking about this movie doing things a little better as far as handling women characters.
uh-huh.
And that is true. They do have the characters do have a more prominent role. Like you said, we have a new 007, and it's not Bond, it's Nomi, an British African British. How do you say that?
Black British person.
A black British lady. Dude, that just sounds too much. Well, she's 007 now, and that's something you would never see. And then we, of course, we have Moneypenny
Uh-huh.
as another black
Strong woman.
strong woman, African descent. And that's fine, you know. Like it didn't feel tacked on. Like
Yeah.
we gotta appease.
Maybe Anna de Armas was a little tacked on, because she was like, I thought she would be a bigger part of the movie. I thought
Me
like
too.
her and James Bond were gonna like tag team the whole movie
Yeah.
and be like, I thought she was gonna be the next 007 or something. But I wasn't mad by then that she wasn't.
Right.
It was just they were just using her as like another strong woman, and she's also part of the James Bond universe. So she's like probably gonna come up in the next movie, something like that.
And she definitely add a sense of energy.
Yeah.
Like when she appeared, it added so much energy to the movie. And her tone was like being sort of like a
Fresh off
newbie,
the boat.
fresh off the
Newbie.
boat. So it added a lot to the movie, I think.
It was
at that
funny.
point.
Like
Yeah.
I think like that was the not funniest part, but like a very entertaining part to see them
Yes.
work together.
Yeah.
Bond's like, you know what, this new generation, they're good.
Yeah. So yeah, it didn't feel like it was too heavy-handed as far as introducing these the female leads in this movie. But it is noteworthy just looking back upon it, Bond's history. And also like where it's going in the future.
Yeah, because now they're set up to anyone can be Bond, or I mean 007, and it's now focused more on just the organization instead of James Bond. James Bond's just like the father of it all.
So what do you think is the what do you think is the direction they're going for, and what do you wish they would go for?
I mean, I don't care where. I don't have a wish,
Uh-huh.
so I don't care. But I think they're just gonna like to use her for like however long they want to.
Use who?
The new 007.
Nomi?
Yeah.
So you think she's literally the next Bond?
Yeah, for like on 3 movies, and then she dies or retires or like passes on the legacy, something like that. And they're just gonna maybe just branch out to like the James Bond cinematic universe.
No, you had to do it. You
And it
gave
makes sense because that's like Anna's there. She can have her own her own movies. 007 have that.
So that's something I was thinking about. Like a James Bond movie. What's a James Bond movie? It's a guy who's an agent,
Yeah.
right? And if you don't have that, is it still a James Bond movie?
I think they're just retiring him. Like, they're done with James Bond until they do like James Bond, the high school years or something like that in like 20 years.
James Bond, baby,
Yeah.
baby
Like,
boss,
boss baby.
boss baby.
Because
Uh-huh.
really, James Bond is like, he's old. He's like, not just like his age, but like it's an old way to do things. Like he was just like
He's a white British man.
that's sexist a lot of the times.
Yep.
Like even the updated version
Yep.
isn't like exactly good either.
Yep.
And if they wanted to do another James Bond movie, they have to keep those if they want to keep that character true to the books. So I think instead they're just going to straight up retire him and then move on. He's just too old. Like, he's past modern times.
But I think there's a possibility that they say, let's get another James Bond, and he's black.
They would just do 007, Black
So not name him James Bond.
Jimmy Bond or something.
So what is he gonna say? My name is,
Bond, Jimmy Bond.
you know, like you literally don't have a James Bond movie anymore. You have
They can just do a different
you just
name.
have a 007
Yeah,
series,
yeah.
like a universe.
They could just do like a ton of, I mean, like all of James Bond is like homages to past James Bond, like the martini shaken not stirred. Anyone could do that. Like my name's this. They could just have any name.
This that's the shirt right there. My name's this. Uh-huh.
And then just keep that up. They can have that forever. Like what all they're losing with James Bond is the white sexist dude.
Right.
And if they retire him with honors, like they could just move on and have Timothy Chalamet 006 do his thing. Like mine's Chalamet, Timothy Chalamet.
Stop.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Honestly, they can go. I think they could go. They can stick with the James Bond. They could still do that. Like, it's not a for sure thing that they're just gonna get rid of James Bond.
Well, yeah.
I think a more likely scenario is them keeping it but making him African American or black or something.
The thing is, if they do that, they're gonna anger the purists who say he has
True.
to be this and this and this. If they just retire him and say, look, we're just gonna focus on sexy, beautiful, suave
Double agents.
double agents, and then those purists can't say anything because they're James Bond's dead.
Yeah.
We moved on.
Yeah.
So literally,
But there's so much money in the name James Bond. To just let it go, it seems like
I think they could still do it.
they can, yeah. That's a note I had like that. What if they just do, like you said, a TV show, or not a TV show, but a universe, and then they could do like a series of like women Bonds.
Like all these movies, they didn't have James Bond in the title.
They don't. Nope.
Casino Royale, Skyfall.
Correct.
Like they haven't. I don't even know what they named it back then, but they
Different. They don't have James Bond in the title.
like James Bond is only in the
A name.
movie. Yeah. But it's always been the title, like whatever.
Yeah. And then there's been like Christopher Nolan said that he's always wanted to do a Bond.
Nah.
And essentially Tenet is like a futurist, like a cool Bond,
Shut up.
like a artistic Bond. Like, do you not see Tenet as a Bond movie?
Kind of, but they don't have like that suaveness.
Right. But what if, okay, if you make a new Bond movie or whatever, a 00 movie, does the character need to be suave to be considered
I think so, because he has to blend into like.
he or she?
Oops. Yes, he or she needs to blend into like the cocktail parties, the seduction of a woman could seduce a dude for information, you know?
Right.
Like I think that's a part of being a spy where you could fake who you are.
Yep.
In any situation. There wasn't really that in Tenet. It was just like straight up time travel, killing people.
Yep. Also, Denis Villeneuve, he's been talking lately. I would love to make a James Bond movie.
Let him.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Why?
I love him.
What would
He's
his
good.
Bond look like? I don't think it could be suave.
I think why not?
He hasn't had one character in a movie that's suave.
Why not? I mean, that's
Like,
more a script.
I guess also what I'm asking is like, can we see an artistic version of Bond, or will they never do that? Like, what if they gave it to Taiki Waititi and they're like, go do whatever you want?
No.
You know?
I guess.
I'm not saying like him specifically, but I'm saying like
yeah.
any different creative direction other than the typical
I think Dennis could do it. He just like,
Denny. Get it right. He's French, boy.
like if script's the only issue, he could get someone to help him. But he has the vision. He has the eye. You know. He knows how to make a good movie.
It'll be a very somber Bond.
It'd be cool.
Yeah. Tarantino?
I don't know. Sure, but not
Why?
preferable.
It'd be like, sure, but why, right?
Yeah. He doesn't. He's too American, I feel. Like he would like move it all to America or something. Like let's do James Bond, but it's in the past. The beginning of MI6 or whatever it's called.
Right.
A Western, one might say.
Oh, that's funny. I could envision that. Like, from the very inception of it, are you saying that you want to take it back? Yeah, very, very far back. How far back? A Western, some might say.
Jimothy Bond, the first.
Jimothy?
I don't know. I couldn't think of an old
That's
name.
a good name, Jimothy. Alrighty. Let's take a quick break and we'll talk a little bit more about this immaculate movie. Ivan, what's your favorite part of this movie?
When it ended.
Damn. Almost forgot.
I don't know. I can't really remember a part where I was like,
My favorite part, I have multiple. Obviously, the ending was probably my favorite part because
yeah.
of the emotion in it. This is basically the best scene. I do like the beginning. I do like how they subvert the audience because usually the beginning of the movie is like Bond fighting someone and escaping and all these crazy tricks. But instead we have Madeline Swan as a kid and she's running away from what would be Rami's character, the villain.
Yep.
I do like that. Another great scene I think is when he's in Italy, him and Swan.
Mm-hmm.
And they're escaping the bad guys, of course. The Spectre, the remaining Spectre baddies. I love when they're in the car and Swan's like, James, I promise, I didn't betray you.
Look.
And he was so stoic.
Wow, what a man.
And then the gunshots to the window. Poof, poof, poof. That was good. He's like, James. And he's like, okay. Did it? You had to have that. Come on, man. It's not a Bond movie if you don't have a spinning car
Yeah.
doing wheelies,
Whatever.
doing donuts while a machine gun.
Jesus.
You know what I mean. Bond and Felix on a boat. Felix and Bond have this special connection, which I don't really get because I didn't watch I don't remember the old movies.
You fool.
I remember him in the poker table.
I think it was in one more. I think it was in Quantum.
But it was a great, like, emotional scenes. Like, just let me go, Bond.
Yeah.
But you can tell how much he wanted to save him. Obviously, the Paloma and Bond scene was amazing.
It's a funny name.
It is. Paloma. She brought so much energy to the movie, and it's cool to see like a newbie's
It's
vision
my first
of
day.
yeah, first day
Get
at
out
the
of
job.
here.
Not something you would want in a double agent, but it was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously the ending, which I have a hot take, but the ending was very good with Bond saying goodbye to Swan, basically saying I love you, take care of my kid. She's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. All that's very sweet, and a good way to end Daniel Craig's run as James Bond. Are you ready for my hot take?
Sure. I'm about to destroy it.
I don't think you can.
We'll
I think
see.
it's bulletproof. I think this movie can be seen as an allegory for sexual abusers that are getting outed due to the Me Too movement.
At what point?
Hear me out!
I was.
Bond represents all the abusers that the Me Too movement has tried to silence, convict, and oust from
Is
power.
this your idea?
Yep.
Cut the camera.
Bond could be finally living a great life, you know? He's finally living a great life. He found love.
Oh, I see.
He has a kid, but your past will come back to haunt you, baby. The past 50 years of Bond and his atrocities against women, his negligence. Wait!
You don't want to be wrong, I guess.
And the bombs that he orders to destroy the poisonous base, the very bombs he orders to come destroy the base, are the same bombs that kill him. It's a metaphor for the same atrocities that Bond has done in his past, the same abusive behavior that he's done in his past. They come back to kill him. And you know what he does? He's like, let them come kill me. I don't care. I'd rather die than live in this godforsaken world that I can't do all these atrocities.
Jesus.
So he takes death.
Over jail?
Yeah.
Is that like...
And he's too weak. He's too weak to even flee. Like he's basically Harvey Weinstein or whatever.
Yeah.
He can't leave. He's sick and he's dead and he dies. And so does all the abusers from the Me Too movement. That's my take. Poke a hole in that metal.
Okay. Well, it's tough because, like, as an art piece, you can extract whatever bullshit. But you can, in a way. So it's not like I can say, that's not true.
Yeah.
Because, like, sure, you get what you get from a piece of art.
Yeah.
Right? I don't know. Sure.
It's funny because, like, when I was thinking about this, I was like, oh, this actually kind of makes sense. But then I thought about, like, most likely they didn't even think about that.
Yeah. Probably not. But I don't know.
But it's kind of good, right? Give me some props because I didn't read that anywhere and I actually like it.
Yeah. But still, like, controversial. I don't know.
Does it get more controversial than what I just said?
It could be.
Say it.
I'm just thinking.
Say it because I know you're trying to hide it.
No. I don't know. No, I don't have a point.
It's okay. I do think that it's obviously grappling with the current time, you know? And it knows that I think at least it's a symbolism of like this version of Bond has to die.
Yeah.
At the very least, you know?
Jeez.
Like they legitimately kill him off at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
But I think it's a legitimate way of saying like this is the end of what you know of James Bond.
Yeah.
And hopefully, I do hope that whatever they do next is radically different. And
I mean,
to me,
yeah.
it has to be almost like what you're saying. Like there is no Bond anymore.
Just the agency.
Yeah. Like give me the day to day of what Key's doing.
You want like a Mad Men style?
Oh, my man. Yeah. Give me Mad Men, James Bond. Mad Men 007.
In Skyfall, the bad dude, he was like the James Bond before him. So I'm just thinking like James Bond was just a really good agent, but there could always be another really good agent. And maybe like this 007 like literally dies before the next movie. And like, okay, listen, you're new here, but you're 007, and it's like Michael B. Jordan or something. And he's just like not James Bond, but like Timothy Bond.
What about a bad 007? Like you're 0099.
00-7.
Yeah. And
But-
it's like you hire I don't know, a comedic actor to do it.
Like
You get what's his name?
Louis C.K.
No.
Aziz Ansari.
No.
Bobby Lee. That'd be funny.
Don't you dare.
Imagine him in a little suit, slick back hair, with like a little martini flirting with the girl.
He would have a Mai Tai.
Shut up.
But yeah, that's my hot take.
Sure.
Let's rate this movie, Evan. Out of 5 tickets.
Can we look
Okay, go.
update?
Yep.
Why don't we just do 5 and then we'll do like specters? 5.
The
Guns.
MacGuffins.
Yes.
What's the MacGuffin of this one?
Love.
5 hearts?
No.
5 poison vials. 5
It has to be like a word. Like 5 guns. 5 microphones.
5 M's
5 M's for like.
for or
Well,
5
there's 5
Q's.
James Bond movies, isn't there? Where's the
5 specters.
5 specters?
Okay. I don't know how I like that, but okay. Let's try it.
This doesn't change anything really.
Well, the next film is going to be, well, we don't know, but we'll see how.
It's probably the sword one that you've been talking about every
Yeah.
freaking podcast.
Do I?
A little bit.
You just saw it in the trailer and you're like, oh, this is the stupid movie Adrian's talking about.
Yeah. I give it three. I mean 4. I give it a 3.5. 3.25.
Damn.
I'll kill you.
There is one thing that I forgot to mention, like the rewatchability of this. And like I'm trying to say, like I would never rewatch this movie.
Uh-huh.
And the amount of fun I had in the movie, it's a 4.5.
4.5?
Yeah. But given that I would never rewatch it, it's a 4 for me.
So that
Like-
would make Casino
Like in the moment, I was like, this is awesome. 4.5. Coming back home 1 week later, it's a 4.
What would you give Casino Royale? An obviously better movie.
Right.
A 5?
A 4.
Get out of here.
I would give it 4.5.
Get out of here.
And I would rewatch. Because I want to rewatch Skyfall.
Yeah. Skyfall's good.
So it's like, there has to be some kind of like, I guess what I'm trying to say, it is a 4. For me, it's a 4.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to add a category of like, what's the rewatchability on this? Is it like yes or a no? And it's
For
a
me,
no.
it was just like too much. Like, it was very much a movie where, like, they had to a loose end sort of movie, and it was like mostly that.
Yeah.
Like, they gotta get rid of Spectre. They gotta get rid of James Bond. They gotta have James Bond child exist, they gotta kill that one Rami Malek.
He has to fall out of love and in love again, or fall out of love and trust her again, and all
They
that.
need the new James Bond. I mean, new 007.
Right.
So like,
There's a lot to do.
yeah, and they did it well. But I'm not here to watch a loose end movie. You know.
You watched a lot of Marvel movies, Evan. You
No,
didn't
those are
complain.
finales, not
Oh.
loose end movies. Don't compare Endgame to this malarkey. Get that microphone out of your nose.
Okay. No, I agree. I'm just saying, like, when I was in the theater, I was like entertained
It was good.
as
yeah.
hell.
But
But
I'm,
maybe it's because I'm
I'm
because
harsh.
of Dolby
Dolby.
digital
Yeah.
experience. Maybe that helped a lot.
I'm just gonna lean into harsh grading, I think.
Yeah. It would better serve you, like, in the long run.
Yeah.
Unless you give, like, Dune a 1 and it's actually
Nah.
a 5.
I feel like Dune's gonna be a 4, but you're gonna give it a 5. Shut up.
It is a 4.
But you're gonna give it a 5.
But it's like,
Person.
it's how it hits you is what you should rate it, I think.
I do that too. I coagulate
Oh.
everything together
Uh-huh.
because it hit me a bit. Like that's where the 3 came from, and that 3.25
Out of the 4.25.
Yeah, because like there's good moments, but just like overall 3.25.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So 4 Spectres out of 5, 3.25 Spectres out of 5
Yep.
for you. All right. Well, that's it for No Time to Die. Had fun. Ivan, it's time for a section we like to call.
Things and such.
Anything you've been watching?
Washing.
Watching.
That's what I thought. Not really. No. What have I? I don't think I've been.
I watched a Promising Young Woman.
Okay.
Have you heard of that? It's good.
I'm sexist.
You should be.
Thanks.
We are the inferior race.
Wasn't it?
Gender? It's a good movie. I wouldn't recommend you to watch it. I don't think you would like it, but it's like it's a good
Feel good.
no.
Feel bad.
It's a revenge movie.
Oh, I know the movie now.
Yeah.
I was picturing like some 1700s sort of movie.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
You saw it?
No.
Oh.
I just know the movie now.
It's a great revenge film, but it's nothing more. Actually, it's a little bit more. I shouldn't say that. There's a little more depth to it. But I liked watching it for like the pure what is it? Like
Dialogue.
no, like genre movie it is.
Okay.
Like, oh, you want to watch a revenge movie? Here's Promising Young Woman.
Does she, at the end, realize revenge wasn't worth it?
No.
Then I don't want to watch it. Because revenge is for the weak.
No. It's for the good at heart.
What was the end lesson?
I think if there's an end lesson, it's that
Don't make people have revenge on you.
no, it's you should do the good thing when you have the chance.
Poop.
And you could actually be like the greatest person ever,
Uh-huh.
but if you messed up in your past, you're poop.
Like cancel culture.
Yeah.
Just like James Bond.
But it's like cancel culture. Yeah, you did something in the past that's poop, but you are poop. Like you did something really bad, And no matter what you say, you did that.
Your poop.
Like, you could have saved the baby, but you still did this.
That's like an ethic, a moral, like let's
Cause,
say you
cause that person she loved, and then she found that, and it's like, no remorse. Like, your poop.
I don't know. I'm against this ethically, morally, spiritually,
I am, too.
logically.
But I'd like to see that I like to see that vision played out.
Okay.
Like, I haven't seen that before.
Okay.
Because usually you see what you just said. Like, you know what? I should forgive you. Maybe revenge isn't the best thing.
That was like a plot to one of the James Bond movies.
It was.
Yeah, I think Quantum.
Oh.
But like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Promising Young Woman, I saw that. Yeah. Trying to see like what's gonna be my next time consuming thing. I feel like watching different things. I don't want to watch TV anymore. I finished Mad Men, so I'm wanting to watch a bunch of different kind of things to tickle my pickle.
for lack of a better term. Succession
Not yet. Don't talk about
next week.
Next week we'll talk about it. All the good things coming next week. Don Toliver. Did you listen?
Trash.
Did you listen?
Yeah.
And it's trash?
And it's all right. Like, very disgustingly all right.
Yeah. I like the sound of it. There's just no...
Other sound on it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And there's nothing that really stands out.
Yeah. Like, it's not bad, but...
It is cohesive.
Too cohesive.
Ooh.
But, like... I guess... I don't think it's his debut album, but...
He's getting better.
Yeah, but not better fast enough.
I don't think there's any depth
To him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think he's gonna be a great songwriter for other people.
He's going to be a great feature for the rest of his life.
Ooh. What else? Music wise.
Punk is coming out.
Punk and Pink. Isn't Pink
Isn't Pink Tape, I think?
Oh yeah, the Pink Tape. I think Punk is gonna be okay. I'm pretty sure Thug's sad that TikTok wasn't a bigger hit than it ended up being.
What TikTok?
Remember that song? TikTok, 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 TikTok.
He doesn't know how to play anything. Like, he's like the worst marketer for himself.
I know.
Ever.
But I think it's gonna be a good album.
I saw like a snippet of an interview. He's like, this stuff takes time. This has been working for like 2 years. But like, also every artist ever says that. And I'm like sick and tired of hearing that.
You know what he said? He's like, with my last album, I was experimental with the mixing and traditional with the song formation. Now I'm being experimental with the song formation and traditional with the mixing.
That could mean anything.
So I'm like, does that mean like we're gonna get like a great sounding experimental album?
I'll wait till I hear it. I just don't trust any of them.
Obviously. Well, there's no reason to trust them until they actually do it.
Only Kanye delivers.
And Drake.
Well, not sure about that.
I wonder what you have on repeat.
Nothing. I haven't listened to either of them for a bit.
I listen to only Drake's. I haven't even tried to look for it.
Shut up.
There's not enough musicality in it for me. There's not enough melodies in it. It's true. Anything else, Ivan, for the beautiful people? TV, music, movies?
Nah.
It's kind of quiet, right?
Calm before the storm.
The storm's coming.
Yep.
Music and movie and
Yep.
TV show wise.
Yep.
All right, people. Thank you for listening to Peliculas with the Bros. This is another great episode with me and my little brother Ivan. Please hit the subscribe button. I should have said this earlier, but hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you like what you're hearing. If you're on if you're listening to this on podcast platform, we're on YouTube. All YouTube all you have to do is look us up on YouTube, Peliculas with the Bros. We're on all podcast platforms: Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio.
Deezer.
You always say Deezer. I think. Wherever you can find podcasts, we will be there. Look us up. Thank you for listening. We'll be back next week. Peace out.
Bye.